McGregor's Gathering, where this week we are down in Oban, down at the Whisky Vaults for a very special weekend. We have the return of Donegal, part 3, is it now? I think it could be, yes. So we're expecting quite a gathering of folk over the weekend. We've got Aidan, who many of you will remember, and this is Michelle, who is the first time in Scotland. Yeah, she's terrified. She's just walked in and she's been thrown into a corner with a microphone stuck in front of her and told her she's doing a programme. Great, that's the way we rock.
I noticed there's some others that are dodging it out there.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Mr. Campbell to find his fiddle. We don't know why that is missing, but I'm sure it will appear. But also on the programme tonight, we've got Welsh choir singers. That was them singing before they started crying on Saturday night, and they have not stopped crying salty tears since Saturday. It really is getting rather boring. I wish they'd give it a rest. And what else have we got? Cows. We've got cows on this programme, and we've got news of a new chef. In fact, it's going to be great speaking to our brand new chef and his amazing background. So that's coming up, but we'll play some tunes. One called The Flogging.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Do that and see what happens.
We've probably very different versions, but we'll give it a crack. We'll give it a crack. So that was The Flogging. Now there's so many different versions of that, isn't there? So many. There's and the one on the I better watch out. I might go down a rabbit warren of really boring stuff. But the Scottish version is called The Flagon, and it's got 4 parts of it. But there's another part on that. But I think we recorded it many years ago. But that was the first time. I've probably played it since last century. It's a great tune.
Do you know what? There was one of the tunes in around, well, not just in the but all of Ireland, really. It's a real staple kind of session tune, you know. So
it's great, isn't it? It's the third part, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've been, the last time we spoke, we were kind of looking at the links between Donegal and the Highlands in particular, and it looks like we're hopeful that we are going to be able to keep this kind of tradition of going back and forth further forward. We're hoping to twin up. In fact, we haven't officially got it yet, but somebody high up in Inverness politics is pushing towards trying to twin Glenties with Inverness.
I think could that be a first? I don't know if this Glenty is twinned with anywhere. I'm not quite sure. But
I wouldn't twin Glenties with anywhere.
But you know, it'd be great if it pulls off. I mean,
it would be.
I think it'd be class. And there is such a class. Like we were actually on the drive up even here. I know it's not Inverness, but we were trying to figure out why is we came the longer road through Inverary. And we were saying, why is that so familiar to us? We just couldn't figure out, is there whiskey from here? Oh, sorry, that was the first thing we thought. Probably is. That says a lot as well. There must be, and then we kind of were Googling and we said, well, there's not a whiskey that we can see, like, you know, trying to figure out. But we think then, we were driving out of town and saw the dam. There's a dam outside of town. And we think it's actually Peter's father and uncle, the Campbells, that were from Glenties, would have worked. We were just trying to figure out now, is that one of the dams that they might have worked on? We're not sure yet, but we're going to find out over the weekend.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's an example of the link.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like there are people from Glenties in that area over in the Highlands working.
Well, it's funny because it's going to be kind of all regenerating. There are huge works going on in the Highlands in the next couple of years with both hydro schemes. I mean, they're talking about 25,000 people moving into the Inverness area to do the building of these hydro schemes and wind turbines and a green port, and there's massive influx of people supposedly coming into the area. So it will be interesting to see if we get any of that coming back over from Ireland across to get involved in that.
There was a funny story actually that the lads would have told, and they were talking about how, you know, they used to go from job to job in the Highlands as well, and one of the things that they found themselves very much like the Highlanders, you know, that the landscape and everything was so close to what you'd have in Donegal. That sometimes, you know, word would come through when you were finishing up one job of the job that was coming next, and there was one or two jobs where themselves, the lads from Donegal, they got to the next job first because other people went round a traditional route. They went over the hill. It didn't matter to them, you know. That's the way they were used to doing it.
Yeah.
And it's such a kind of a similar landscape, similar everything. That's how they got to the next job first. So even down to that, like they were beating the people to the job just by that alone. You know?
That's great.
It's good crack.
So I'm amazed this is your first time in Scotland. And just are you aware? Have you been aware of the tunes from around this area and the Highlands of Scotland? Yeah.
20 sessions in Donegal, that's what to do. You get to hear of all the tunes, like when you get to. Don't know if I know them all, but.
No, but the great thing, what I love about them is the mash you get off them.
Yeah.
I particularly love it when you meet up with a Quebec fiddler and you go, wait a minute, what is that tune there? It's got a bit of Irish, a bit of Scottish, and then we'll just add an extra bar in at the end as well, just to make sure that you're not counting
throw them
proper.
off.
Yeah.
Like the Highlands and that, we just play them slightly differently, but it's the same kind of air. He's got more of a kind of a swinging.
I don't know, because I'll tell you who's coming along this weekend is Ian McFarlane. He is absolutely loves the Donegals. He loves the intricacies and all the wee variations that go on, and it's the variations that really make it stand out and make it so considerably, Donegal, isn't it? You know, does everyone know the same variations, or are there like you know, you go to Cape Breton and somebody goes, oh, that's Huey Shorty's version, and
it does happen, and I think it depends. If there's like certain seminal players, then their versions will be so kind of noteworthy that people will still refer to them. But I still think it's the same here as well. Like people still make those versions their own then as well. So they'll take on those, and I suppose the other side of it is, if you're in a certain company and you know that that's the version that people are going to play, or that's the version that would be very much appreciated that would be played, they'd play it then, you know what I mean? So there's that kind of a nod to tradition, but at the same time I think people make it their own too.
I feel like it's a bit like the mountain road. Once you go to Denny's, you just know the third part is happening.
That's it, because it's not played anywhere else.
No,
well, very few.
you know that third part is coming. You don't deviate from that because you're just going to be left behind.
And that comes again specifically from Jimmy Campbell. So Jimmy was the person who did that third part, but he'd learned it from the man who composed the tune. So that third part was lost elsewhere in the country, but it still isn't.
I don't think I know the third part. You better play as the tune guy. Go for that.
Geez, you're talking about the next century now. Let's pay back that now. Oh my god.
Well,
that's what I'm taking.
I
just play the third part.
Geez, actually, that would be the one for Peter to be playing.
We'll get him over in a minute or two. But in fact, what we'll do just now, while we're trying to work out how that tune goes, we mentioned Wales. Well, I mentioned Wales. Last week, of course, Scotland were playing Wales down in Cardiff, and there is a tradition of people from Wales coming up here when the international is down in Cardiff, and we have the same tradition of Scottish people going down to Wales. It's kind of like they've got an empty house. Everybody's gone up for the game, so we'll go there, and that is exactly what happened here. This pub here last week was absolutely filled with Welsh choir singers and Gaelic choir singers. So there's a couple of little clips here. When I first saw this, I wasn't entirely sure what was going on. It looks like a bit of the hokey cokey. So there's two little videos here. You can just play them one after the other. But an amazing night here last Friday and Saturday night. So I have no idea what that song was all about, but I like the actions. It was an action song. You don't see many of them unless you're in a rugby club, actually, so that was quite unusual. But they had a great time here last week, and I believe they're looking at coming up here next year for a tour. So that's the Welsh Choir. But this weekend we've got Donegal here, and Aidan O'Rourke's going to pop in as well. He's coming along, and Archie McAllister as well. As lots of the local musicians as well, so it's going to be some crack altogether. And good to see Donald as well. He's popped in from up from London.
Up from London,
Yeah. Good man. So yeah, it's going to be a good weekend altogether. We're going to try some more tunes. We don't really know how this is going to work. We're just going to pass the tunes round one to the next or something like that. So we'll start with something that I think we'll know altogether. Miss Lyle?
Yep, no worries.
1, 2, 3. Peter Parks. that? The Devil in the Kitchen. Is that what you call that?
What's it called?
Gee, I actually don't know what you
I've
call
never
it.
heard the name of
What
it.
do you call
It
it?
was played by a man called Danny O'Donnell in Donegal.
Daniel O'Donnell.
Danny O'Donnell. Not Danny
Daniel.
O'Donnell. Not Danny O'Donnell.
I learned from
Danny
Daniel.
O'Donnell.
I'm sure that's called The Devil in the...
Yeah, we always kind
What
of...
do you call that tune, Donald? That's Devil in the Kitchen. Devil in the Kitchen.
Devil in the
Yeah.
Kitchen.
So-
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
We're not kind of much into culinary stuff, so we just called it something else. Like just Danny O'Donnell's. Danny O'Donnell's made it easier straight away.
There's great versions of it. There's another version, Scott Skinner did an A.
Yeah.
And I think he moves up in the third position. It's far too complicated. I can't play it.
Jeez, I was trying to play that one. Never mind something like that there. Good tunes.
Yeah, so we are looking for. I wonder if we'll maybe get Rab over there actually. Is he? You can talk. Rab, could we bother you for a wee chat? Talk about. We'll just squeeze in Rab.
Oh,
Just come in here. Got a wee seat in there.
should we get out of the way, Bruce?
No, do not. There we are.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to be playing any fiddle, so
So this is Rab Cherry, and what's your official title when you're kind of in charge of the Donegal music? You've got a.
I don't really. Nobody's in charge. I don't have a title.
You don't have a no one's in charge.
Yeah. That's the way it works. Yeah, nobody's in charge.
I think the rest of us would say the rest of us would say commander in chief.
So there's no title.
Yeah. But the body that you kind of represent and look after.
Yeah, there's a thing called Cargus and Fiddlery, which of course Aidan is currently the chairman of. So he has made a non-hostile takeover bid. But at the minute I'm still traditionally the guy who most people think runs the thing.
Yeah.
Myself and a guy Kevin. So Cargus and Fiddlery, which is Friends of the Fiddlers. So.
And that's been going in Glenties for how many years now? It's a huge amount of years.
40, I think this year will be our 44th year in a row.
Gee whiz. That's
It's
incredible.
been a big project.
Yeah. And Angus Grant was one of the first.
Angus Grant was our second year.
Yeah.
First year we had it, we were really pleased with how well it went, and the whole point of it was to gather Donegal musicians because there seemed to be a bit of a lull. Nothing much was happening, and there were people that played, but they didn't really have events to meet at and stuff, so we thought we'd organise one.
Yeah.
It went really well, and we thought, okay, we'll do this again. But we didn't really want to be giving people the impression that this is all about Donegal music, and it's the only fiddle music that's good. This is the only thing. Because obviously there's so much good fiddle music all around the world. So we thought what we should do is have our not 100% Donegal fiddle music weekend, but only like 95 would be fine. and then we would invite someone who wasn't from the Donegal fiddle tradition. So as it happened, Angus was our first outside guest.
Yeah.
And it happened more than once. Angus was back a few times over the years, both invited and under his own steam because he just had a good time.
Yeah.
As you know, you've been there and you had a good time.
The thing I remember most, before I went over, Ian McFarlane had gone and he just talked about it constantly.
Yeah.
How much he loved it. He just absolutely loved it. So when I couldn't go the first year, I think you asked me and I couldn't go the next year. And I loved your opening line to me when I got into your car. It was something like, you won't be back next year. And I went, I haven't started yet, but...
What we do is we've tried really hard to avoid having a festival where you invite someone and they make a huge impression and you invite them back next year. And then they make another huge impression and you invite them back the next year. So how do you get off that then? So what we always tell people is the invited musicians, basically, no matter how well you do, you're not going to be on the bill next year.
Yeah.
But if you actually enjoy yourself so much you want to come back, you won't be on the bill, but we look after you and we'll try and get you a bed. And
Yeah.
Give you
No,
something
it
to
was great. I think it was Jenna Reid over as well. I think. Yeah.
Jenna's been there. There's been a massive list of
Yeah.
bit of a who's who of Scottish fiddle playing over the years. Yourself, Ian McFarland, Jenna Reid, loads of boys from Shetland, Brian Kerr, Stephen Spence, Katrina MacDonald, from mainland, Douglas Lawrence, Douglas Lawrence a few times, Paul Anderson, Ronan Martin from Skye, Alistair Fraser, Ali Bain, you know,
Everybody.
a lot of really good Scots players.
Yeah, no, it's a great place for those if you've never been to Glenties. I would thoroughly recommend it.
First weekend in October.
Yeah, really good fun.
Got a wee message here just from Marjolina de Wild. She says, hello from the Netherlands, good to see Aidan O'Donnell there. It was great to have him as my teacher at the fiddle farm over here. Loved the Donegal tunes.
Great.
How are you? Good to see you. How are you doing?
Actually, another point we should point out, that last set we played there, some Highlands or Strathspeys. Sophie Stevenson is doing a step dance workshop tomorrow, I think, isn't it? Yes, Saturday in Inverness. Sophie, you'll have seen her on the programme, the one we did from Kettle Connection. An amazing dancer, great teacher as well. So, yeah, make sure you check out that if you fancy doing a bit of dancing. You ever tried a bit? You do some dancing.
I know. I don't know. Some of the time.
To see this.
Yeah, like I never forget. I know how to do some of the couple dances, but that's again part of the carriages. But like so, like there's on the Thursday of the Fiddle Week every year. There's a special night for the dances, and if you're going to the classes, you get taught the classes during the day, and then you get to try them out that night. However, like my grandmother was, I can't tell you the amount how good I am at dancing. My grandmother was kind of regarded as a good dancer, and she was a first cousin of Jimmy Campbell, so Peter's dad. And Jimmy was where you met Jimmy. He was a total rogue, like, you know. And he knew that Granny was quite, you know, not proud about being a dancer, but you know, she was known within the family at least for being a good dancer. And it just happened to be that I came across from the pub Biddies and landed into the dance, and Granny was sitting at the side of the hall, and I sat down. Of course, you go up to see your Granny, you go up to say hello, how you doing, Granny? And just Jimmy saw his moment, and he stood up on the stage and he goes, well, he says, it's a lovely thing to see, and it's not often nowadays we get to see it, that I'd love to call now, and we're going to get to see a grandmother dancing with her own grandson. Would you please give them a big round of applause? And about 120 people, all big round of applause. And I could see him sitting back chuckling. And Granny, of course, you know what like grannies do? They give the outer smile, but they can still deliver your message. And she turned around and she literally just turned away from the people and grabbed my hand, just pulled and says, get up, you big lump. And that's, get up, you big lump. And that was me, and I had to go out, and I laughed all the way through because I looked up and Jimmy was playing and he was laughing the whole way through it. You know, I was ruining it. But anyway, that's part of the crack.
Oh, that's great. It's great. But yeah, the couples. I mean, you've got we've got our Cayley dancing couple. A lot of. Are they? What kind of dances have you got there? Are they much the same, or are they quite different?
They're quite different. They're kind of mixed, aren't they?
Yeah, well, there's a mixture. There's the sort of mass dancing like the waves of Torry and the Cayleys and that in Ireland, but the specific Donegal ones are more couple dances. Because obviously traditionally they were danced in houses which were very small. So the dances had to be compact.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have 20 people doing a dance in a cottage because they're not big enough. So it was couples who did the dances.
Yeah.
But the tunes then, though, even the repertoire was still very, funny enough, it's still very Scottish. Like we would have dances called Highlands, which some of the Highlands are very much like the kind of Strathspeys that you would have. The corn rigs, that's a dance in Scotland as well, isn't it? So dances like that there, mazurkas,
Mazurkas, barn dances.
flings.
Yeah.
Mazurkas, that always amazed me because that's a Polish thing.
They're Polish, but I don't really think Polish mazurkas are really strongly resemble Irish mazurkas anymore.
How did that happen? What was any idea how
Don't know historically.
the story, how that...
People
I know
always
there's lots
assume some sort of military connections.
Yeah. It's fascinating actually because we don't really have mazurkas are kind of like speeded up waltzes, really, are they? Or
Yeah,
have you got any? You could give us an example of one.
Yeah, we can do the Vincent Campbell's mazurkas.
Yeah.
Like I always kind of think they're quite like the in Scandinavian music. You have in Norwegian and Swedish fiddle music, where say Polska, the stress is on the 1 on the 3. To me, that was kind of the way I always, when I'm beating it out with my foot, I always kind of imagine it a bit like that. But the way my grandmother, when she was talking about dancing, and I suppose trying to impart knowledge after our big debut, she would always talk about in Donegal, the difference was a lot of the other dances, the first step was kind of stepping into the ground, you were moving first, whereas with the mazurka, you were hopping first, you were in the air further and down. So it's you know it. Like that's what was given the beat then. Like that. So there still was this idea of like a kind of something you weren't beating out fully. I don't know. I don't know. Shut up and play it and see what you think. Play them and tap away. So you see what you come up with.
That's lovely. Yes, I can feel the lift in that.
Yeah, there's something in it, isn't there?
Talking about variations, our second one, the Campbells have a kind of slightly different end to other people.
I wondered, did I get that right? I was kind of, I was a bit worried there, Peter. Was that the right way? Slightly different.
But that was nice, he said slightly different. No, that was wrong. He's obviously feeling better.
He is just looking for somebody to buy him pints for the weekend. That's not wrong with that. I've been here before.
Yeah, well, we've got a good weekend packed in, as well as all the music that's going to be on in the bar here, the Whiskey Vaults, which is right beside Oban Distillery. And guess what? We are going on a tour tomorrow. The main man at the distillery is going to take us on a little tour, which we're really looking forward to. Some people, Rob, you've already been out to one of the islands?
We're in Canada.
Canada?
Canada this afternoon. It was lovely. Yeah. Lovely afternoon.
And you're here for 4 days, I think, aren't you? Just
here for 4 days, and myself and my wife are going up to Skye for the rest of next week.
Great. Well, I hope the weather stays like this. What a drive that was down today. It was just beautiful. Now, last week, a thing happened. Now, Bogbane Farm, which you've been up at Bogbane, haven't you? We've kind of branded it. We've kind of made it a McGregor's as well, and it's looking great inside. But we thought we needed something outside that really brought it to life. And Mrs. Mack came up with the idea of getting Highland cows for pets. And so, this was when she was vegetarian, of course. She came up with this idea of Highland cows for pets. And Jamie was up here today. You'll see that we've got 2 cows. One is about 1 year old, and the other's just a few months younger than that. We think they're both male. They're absolutely beautiful. We're actually going to launch a competition next week to see if we can find some names for them. There have been lots of ideas, but we're looking for names. Rob Roy, one called Rob, one called Roy, might be something, but we will post that up there, and hopefully we'll get a name for it. But on the back of that, where's Luke gone? He was there just a second ago. That is typical. He's disappeared. There you go. I was about to introduce the chef that introduced meat to Mrs. Mick. She's not eaten meat in 30 years.
Right.
And then we were lucky enough to have a tasting for our new chef, who was sitting. There he is. Can we swap you around there, Rob? We're gonna get Luke in here. Thank you very much for that, Rob. We look forward to the tunes and the crack over the weekend. Timing is everything, Luke. So, what do you think about that? You introduced Mrs. Mack to the first piece of meat she's eaten in 30 years.
I did, yes. I wasn't told before it.
I know.
Which is a good thing, because it would have made me nervous.
Yeah, well, that was a good thing as well, because she didn't want to make a fuss about it. It was just like, I'll see what it is. And it came out looking. Have you got the picture there of... This is her looking at the steak, and I was kind of waiting for this. What do I do? And she picked up the knife and fork and went, excellent. Here we go. We'll maybe get Joan to speak a little bit about that, about her return to why she's done that, maybe next week. It's quite an amazing story, and she's just written a wee article all about it. But you're from Oban.
Yes, I am from Oban originally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
but you've had an amazing journey. You wanted to be a chef from a very young age, didn't you?
Yeah, since I was a kid, for Christmas, since I was 5, 6, playing kind of kitchen toys and things like that, and then it just progressed through home economics, seeing talent, and then they put me through a few competitions in school, and it just progressed from there into then apprenticeship in Coast, and then I went on to Michelin star restaurants like Isle of Eriska, which is about 30 minutes from Oban, and then off I went to Paris after that.
I mean, that's quite a big jump. If you've not been to Oban before, it's not very similar to Paris. I would suggest. How did you make a jump from Oban High School to Paris?
Well, it's a funny story really. For my 18th birthday, me and my friend, who's also the chef, we said, well, for my 18th birthday, why don't we go to Paris and eat in a free Michelin star restaurant? And we'd seen this restaurant called Arpège, which we wanted to eat at, and just by chance, the chef was eating across from us, who was eating with his friend, who had a journal called Le Big Eater, basically translated to in French, and we ended up sitting with him until 2 in the morning, and he offered me a job. And so 2 months after that, I moved to Paris
Gee whiz.
and started my apprenticeship there. And so I worked in a bar there.
And did you speak French at all at that
No,
stage?
not when I moved.
Not a word of
So
French.
before I started in the restaurant, I worked in a bar, and I went to Alliance Française, which is a lot of school. And then my French, when I started in the restaurant, was very minimal. You know, there was a speaker downstairs. You know, you don't get to cook it first. Speakers downstairs asking for things, and I was bringing up pots and pans, and really they were asking for, you know, a loaf of bread. But, so it wasn't very good, but it got better as I got along, and now I'm fluent. So,
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you know, you've got this. I suppose my perception of those kind of kitchens is really pressurised.
Yes.
Really temperamental.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. Yes. I've worked with a lot of psychopaths in my career, that's for sure. Yes.
You don't appear to be a psychopath.
No. I think that when you're in that culture, I think that you sort of, when you're young like that, you replicate people, and then as you grow older, you realise that actually it's not the way.
No.
And you can get talent out of people in other ways. And so now, it's not my character. I'm calm and easy.
Yeah. And then you were Cromlix.
Yes, I was at the Cromlix, so that was after Paris. I went there and I spoke with a really talented chef called Darren Campbell, who was the executive chef there. And I just worked my way up there, and it was very good. Andy Murray was a really good guy. We went through a major refurbishment, and we redid the whole thing, and then became a sous chef. So I was very involved in the menu development. Some dishes would take 6 months for development there. And so that was a really interesting time as well.
Yeah. And did I read as well? You did super yachts and things.
Yeah, so after the Cromlix, I did super yachts. I was on a yacht called Kismet, which costs $3 million a week to rent.
I thought I saw that in Joe's search history. Maybe not.
And that was interesting. You get people asking for, you know, ostrich egg omelets at 3 in the morning. And so the helicopter off it goes and it gets an ostrich egg, they get what they want. And so that was very interesting. So it was, you going from working in Coast to, working in different restaurants.
Coast is one of the pubs a restaurant along here,
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
it's like a kind of casual, kind of classical French fine dining. It's not too upmarket, it's nice. And going from that, learning how to use a knife, to then sort of going to Michelin star. The first Michelin star restaurant I walked into thinking, I was amazing. I wasn't. Which I learned very quickly, and and so I've worked in loads of different environments with loads of different people, and collectively it's sort of.
Well, we're very excited to have you on board here. I mean, it's Oban's so well known for its seafood, and there is that aspect to it. But also in the summer, it's heaving, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it goes from I think it's 9,000 to 27,000 from winter to summer.
Yeah, so it's about 8,500 to 9,000 population. I think it triples or quadruples. So it's definitely quiet in the winter and crazy in the summer.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a market as well for good food with locals in the winter as well.
Yeah. Well, we're really looking forward to working with. Well, our tasting that we had with you was exceptional, so that was
glad to
great.
hear
And we were kept trying to explain to him. Said, by the way, when you see the kitchen, it's not really that big. It's not too dissimilar to the size of that piano, actually.
But that's a good thing, because I've always been taught, in arpeggio it's all about gestures, and when you work, it's like a service is like a ballet, and you're on your tiptoes. So sometimes when you're working in a service, a small kitchen is a good thing, because you can go from your stroke to your pass very easily. It's not a bad thing.
I think we're on the kind of, in the next few weeks we should hopefully get the kitchen all passed and open, and
certainly very excited.
It's great. Well, thank you very much. We'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. I don't know.
I was just sitting enjoying
Thank you
watching
very much, Luke. I'm looking forward to having a good meal. We've got the pizzas here tonight. Of course, the pizzas are out in the beer garden there. They smell absolutely amazing, don't they? Yeah. Well, we'll just. Is there anything else I've missed out? Can you think? We've got cows in. We've got Welsh people.
Last night's filming.
Last night's filming. Of course, last night. I've got to be honest, actually, and she's going to kill me for mentioning this again, but I've just spent a night at Glen Eagles doing a training course. I was working extremely hard. Unbelievable training course for Hit Scotland, actually. Really, really good. And the food in that place, the service in that place is just unbelievable. We drove up the road and we got to the bar, and there's an Australian TV crew in, plus 100 Scottish tour guides who are on the shot. They're on the drink because they've finished their conference, and this TV crew came in with a guy called, well, he's a McGregor. His name's Luke as well, actually, which is quite handy. It means I don't really have to think too much today. And Luke is one of Australia's top comedians and TV personalities, but he also happens to be a McGregor. So about 3 generations ago, his great-grandfather had left Scotland and gone to Australia, set up there, and this programme kind of looks at, Luke comes over and looks at what his life might have been if he'd stayed in Scotland. So he goes out to be a vet, he comes into the pub, he does heavyweight strongman thing. I've actually just ruined, I've given the whole story. We'll hopefully have clips for it, but what a lovely, lovely man, actually. We had a great time. And he actually played the guitar with us as well, so we had a bit of filming in there. A great night all together. So we look forward to that Australian TV next year. So.
That sounds class.
Yeah. It's,
I've heard of him, I think.
Yeah. He's just a very, very nice. And there he was in the whole kill. He actually did think he was related to Rob Roy McGregor, and I said, every American I've ever met with McGregor's surname is related to Rob Roy. I mean, Genghis Khan didn't have as much luck, according to this. So, interesting. I think everybody kind of grows up. If you're a McGregor, you kind of go, oh yeah, I'm related.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing is, though? We were talking about this because I'm wearing the t-shirt of we got these the last time.
Yes.
Peter Campbell has his t-shirt packed as well for the weekend. And we were just thinking, because when we wear these at home in Ireland, it's quite funny. People don't ask what it is. They assume straight away that it's something to do with Conor McGregor's pub in Dublin.
Right.
And we're doing a great service to you. We're doing a tourism job for you around Donegal and the rest of Ireland.
My son had a pal who actually has some way of relation to Conor McGregor, right? And so my son said, well, I'll see if I can get him to wear some of your... This was before everything kicked off. So we were very lucky he didn't wear anything, actually. We could have been in big too. But so Conor McGregor's pub in Dublin, right? Well, that's
So we've been pushing him. We're saying no, it's this way.
Right, let's play a tune to take us.
Last thing you got is your concert.
The concert at Eden Court. Yes, the concert at Eden Court, which I think is on Tuesday the 22nd of March, maybe?
31st of March.
Alright, that's close. Just a week. 31st of March. It's a Tuesday, I know that. We've got that concert happening. Anna Massey, Gary Innes, Lauren McCall, Julie Fowlis. Oh, and the cycle. The cycle is, of course, finishing off down here. I'm going to close off the amount of people who are taking part on Monday. So if you haven't signed up for it, you've got till Monday. Graham McKenzie, the great fiddle player, is joining us, as is Cammy Glasgow, who once played for Scotland. He only got 1 minute against Japan, but it was a cap. So he's joining us as well. He's actually retiring from his job the day before and joining it. We're cycling from the McGregors in Inverness to the one down here over 2 days, and it's for MND for My Name is Doddy. That's going to be something else. So that'll be finishing on, if you haven't got your application in by Monday, we can't look after you because we have got so many people who are offering to help. I better point out, Cromarty are giving us a keg to put on behind here for all the very thirsty cyclists. We've also got support from Cobbs, who are going to be giving us lunch. Durer, Village Hall is going to put on stuff for us, and Whitebridge as well. So we've been inundated with help. If you want to get involved in helping, even if you can't do the actual cycle itself, you want to help at all, please drop us a line. It would be great to have you. So, well, we better we'll wrap up with a wee tune.
What do you think? Do you know what? We might, I was trying to think which what we might play. While you were chatting there, I was thinking, right, what are we going to do?
Well, one of us was
Well, I'm
thinking
trying to think
ahead.
of ones that kind of were across both traditions. And I was thinking, you know, the High Road to Love.
Yes, of course.
And maybe the fairy reel. And what made me think of the fairy reel is, I know we were saying that earlier, I think my wee girls are watching. And the fairy reel is one of the ones that they play.
Oh,
They play
brilliant.
like a Mickey Doherty, Donegal version of it.
How old are the girls?
So the oldest girl is Evie, she's 10. Aisling is, well, Aisling will be 8 this week. So she's turned to be big girl this week in 8. And
Excellent.
then we have Shun is 6. And they all play the fiddle and they all dance and they all do these things. So that's it. Hopefully they're more lucky with the dancing than me after the story earlier. But,
Well, I got to thank you two for and Rab as well, and yeah, it's been great, and we're really looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be some crack. But right, let's go with this then.
no worries.